forgiveness usually takes a backseat to outrage and anger. We are much more quick to cut people off, to ghost people, to cancel people than we are to forgive people. God who loves his people so much that even when they are disobedient to him, even when they don't trust him, even when they forsake him, he continues to pour out his loyal love on them because people's actions don't change who God is. Living this first triad of blessings, it is so hard. But when they move from just being some nice sayings from Jesus to a way of life, it's something you wouldn't trade for anything. But Jesus doesn't stop there. He continues on. So here's the start of the second triad of blessings. Number 4. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Now, Jesus is talking about those who desire for God's world to be made right again. They will be satisfied. And the words Jesus uses are quite intentional. He is talking to people that know what hunger is like. Starvation is a real thing for them, a real fear. They understand what it's like to have hunger pangs. And Jesus is saying is if you are crying out, if you are so hungry, so desperate for my world to be made right again, you are not going to be disappointed. The good life belongs to you because you're going to see how I'm going to come through. The next one, blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Now, mercy during the time of Jesus was not a Roman virtue. It was seen as weakness. And as much as we'd like to say it's a virtue today, it really isn't. I mean, mercy, forgiveness usually takes a backseat to outrage and anger. We are much more quick to cut people off, to ghost people, to cancel people than we are to forgive people. And for Jesus, forgiveness and mercy, it wasn't just about having pity for people. Rather, it was rooted in the scriptures of the loyal love of God, a God who loves his people so much that even when they are disobedient to him, even when they don't trust him, even when they forsake him, he continues to pour out his loyal love on them because people's actions don't change who God is. He is a God of love. And so Jesus is saying, if you act like my Father towards others, if you are a person of mercy, you in turn will receive mercy. And this theme we're going to circle back to later on in this series. And then the last one in this triad of blessings is, blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Now, being pure in heart is about having an undivided heart, an undistracted heart. When God is in the forefront of your mind, where your focus is on him, and he's not just in the periphery. What Jesus is saying, if that is you, if your focus is on God, the good life belongs to you because you are going to see me at work. When you are not too distracted with other things, you are going to see how I'm coming through. The good life belongs to the pure in heart, for they will see God. So the second triad of blessings can be summed up this way. The good life belongs to those who pursue God and his way with undivided hearts because they will see God. When you pursue a life of mercy, of forgiveness, when you are hungering for God to come through, Jesus says you are blessed. The good life belongs to you and you are not going to be disappointed. And this is where we see in the Beatitudes them starting to build upon each other. Because the more you spend time with people in Triad 1, the more you start to embody Triad 2. When you are spending time with the poor, the powerless, those who are grieving, those who are unimportant, man, you are going to want them to experience justice. You are going to want them to experience comfort. Your heart's going to cry out at a new level for God to come through. The first triad of blessings are focused mainly on circumstances outside of our control, while the second triad of blessings are all about what we decide to live the life Jesus is calling us to. And the third triad of blessings, Jesus takes it even a step further. The seventh blessing statement of Jesus is this: blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Now, during the time of Jesus, there were a lot of different views on peace. Peace in its purest sense in the Bible comes from this word shalom. Now, shalom literally means peace, but it's also about restoration, about wholeness. And what we see with God in the scriptures is God's continuing to bring his peace to places there is chaos. Now, the different views during the time of Jesus were pretty much this on what peace looked like. Some people thought peace would come when there was just enough military power. If we're just strong enough as a military, there will be peace because no one will mess with us, no one can take us over. And then there were others who sought peace by trying to escape the world. If we're just in our own little commune, we will experience peace when we escape the world. For others, it was all about religious practice. If we just do everything right, and if our country does everything right, there will be peace. And the fourth main view of peace was people who were experiencing peace due to their place in society. They had privilege, so they were experiencing peace. So let's keep the system as it is because it's peaceful for me. Now, those probably sound pretty familiar to most of us because we see those same, views of peace in action today in America, but the way of Jesus looks completely different. Jesus, who is called the Prince of Peace, saw peace coming through personal sacrifice, including his death on a cross, where through his death, through his self-sacrificial death, he brought peace between us and God, where he destroyed the power of sin so we could live the good life now and forever. And what Jesus is saying is, if you want to be like me, if you want to be a child like me, you need to lay down your life as well, your comfort, your privilege, and live a life of sacrifice. And if you do that, you are acting just like me, like a child of God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God.